In Matt Chandler's book, The Explicit Gospel, he describes two missional mindsets of the everyday Christian and how the gospel can play a part in both. He labels them into two primary modes. There's attractional and there's missional, or he also calls incarnational, but we'll call missional. So there's attractional and there's missional. Now the way he describes these is go and tell versus come and hear. The one I'm going to talk about is called missional, and that would be the more go and tell mentality. And basically, there's a quote here. I'm going to quote him on this. It says, the incarnational mode of ministry reminds us that discipleship and evangelism shouldn't be taking place simply within the church walls, such as the attractional, but outside the church walls. The incarnational approach tries to break down the wall of sacred, secular, so we can begin to see everything as sacred and quit being so fearful of the secular. So, the incarnational or the missional mode of ministry says break down the walls of the church and don't just fix the people, or don't just give the people programs that are in the church on how they can become stronger. Those things are all good, but break down the walls of the church so you don't have any barrier, so you can go out into the world and see people as sacred instead of secular. Because when we see people and we see things as sacred, everybody is sacred, we're not going to label them as secular and be afraid of them. Because we've all been told, secular music is bad, gospel music is good. But when we break down these walls and we go and we talk to the secular people and we see them as sacred, we see them as creations of Christ. And if they don't know them, if they don't know Christ, we need to make sure they do. We can go out into the world. We can see people, we can see things as all creations of God. That gives us the approach to go and to help these people and to tell them the good news. When you look at somebody that is not a Christian and you look at them as secular or not a Christian, sometimes you don't see that person as a man or woman of God. You see them as a man or woman apart from God. And if they're apart from God, then you should stay away from them, because they might poison you or they might attack you spiritually. But see, what I believe, the interpretation that I get from reading that is exactly what I said, and exactly what Matt said. When we break down those walls and start seeing everything as sacred, we begin to have a kind heart and a caring heart for people, that those people that don't know Christ are sacred, and we need to take that opportunity to introduce them to Christ, because they are just as important as we are. God wants to bless them and use them just as much as He wants to use someone in the church. So that is my take on what Matt calls the incarnational or the missional mode of mindset in the church.